Police have one suspect in custody after a series of shootings leaves 8 dead last night in Atlanta.
Find out why 2 jurors have been dismissed from the Derek Chauvin murder trial.
And learn more about how one school district is planning to combat bullying.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Jake Evans.
And I'm Cammie Farrell. 8 people are dead and a suspect is in custody after a series of shootings in the Atlanta area last night. Holly Furfer has more with the story.
Investigation is underway in Metro Atlanta.
Multiple people have been shot.
Following shootings at 3 different massage parlors on Tuesday that left 8 people dead.
We just heard numerous gunshots coming from across the street.
The first in Cherokee County at around 5 p.m. northwest of the city.
We're looking at 3 homicides and 2 people are injured.
Then an hour later, authorities 30 miles away in northeast Atlanta responded to a call of a possible robbery.
As we responded to the call, we were able to come upon the scene where individual was shot inside the location. While at that location, we received another call across the street at shots fired. Responded to that to find another individual shot at that location.
One suspect, 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, was taken into custody in connection with the shootings after a dramatic car chase.
Georgia State Patrol troopers performed the pit maneuver, which caused the vehicle to spin out of control.
Police believe Long was likely responsible for all 3 shootings, but they have not yet specified a motive.
I don't know how you would go in there or what kind of motive would drive you to do such a thing.
In Atlanta, I'm Holly Furfer reporting.
6 of the 8 fatalities are Asian. However, Cherokee County Sheriff said, quote, indicators right now are that it might not be a hate crime. Across the country, California is experiencing a series of hate crimes that left 1 man without vision. Monday afternoon, Danny Yu Chang says he was returning to work after his lunch break when he was hit unconscious. He woke up bloodied, but nothing was taken from him, leading him to believe this was a hate crime. He is still unable to see out of his left eye and is hoping to retain his vision. Another man in Oakland was punched in an unprovoked attack near Broadway. The 76-year-old was left with minor injuries, but understandably shaken by the incident.
Russia attempted to undermine the 2020 U.S. election results. According to declassified information from U.S. intelligence, although there is no evidence of any foreign actor trying to alter technical aspects like casting ballots, officials say Moscow was attempting to belittle then presidential candidate Joe Biden and boost President Donald Trump's re-election efforts. 2 jurors in the Derek Chauvin murder case were dismissed by Hennepin County District Judge Peter Cahill after they expressed their views on the $27 million settlement from Minneapolis. One of the jurors said that it felt like that it sends a message that the city has done something wrong. Chauvin's lawyer Eric Nelson has said that seating a jury has been difficult due to the publicity around the settlement. Prosecutors oppose Nelson's efforts to move the trial and dismiss jurors who have heard the settlement.
Well, Jake, I really enjoyed that warmer weather and sunshine this past weekend.
Me too, Cammie. Let's take it to our weather reporter, Bella Quintanilla.
Well, here in Denton, it is currently partly cloudy with a temperature of 56 and a wind speed of 15, making it feel like 53. Looking at looking at the conditions later tonight, it should be partly cloudy with a temperature of 43 and a wind speed of 20, making it feel like 39. Now looking at the conditions tomorrow, it should be clear skies with a temperature of 61 and a wind speed of 20, making it feel like 58. Be sure to stay tuned for a look at the full weather report. Jake and Cammie, back to you.
Doctors say for the first time, one newborn was born with antibodies after his mother received the COVID-19 vaccine 3 weeks prior. Anna Espinoza has more with the story.
This was the first in the world that was reported of a baby being born with antibodies after a vaccination.
According to the doctors, a local frontline healthcare worker was 36 weeks pregnant when she was given the first dose of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. The baby girl was born 3 weeks later in late January, and a blood sample was taken.
We tested the baby's what we call the cord blood, or the baby's blood, to see if the antibodies from the vaccine in the mother passed to the baby, which is something that we see happen with other vaccines given during pregnancy.
The results showed the baby had the COVID-19 antibodies. Dr. Rudnick says this is significant in the fight to protect children from COVID.
This is one small case in what will be thousands and thousands of babies born to mothers who've been vaccinated over the next several months.
But the article on the findings published by the local pediatricians on MedRxiv says there are some factors that indicate that newborns born to vaccinated mothers will remain at risk for infection.
Further studies have to determine how long this protection will last. They have to determine at what level of protection or how many antibodies does a baby need to have circulating in order to give them protection.
The doctors say their paper has been accepted for publication as well, and they're waiting for the journal to put it on their site.
When we come back, we're going to talk about one energy company that might be forgiving loans for those affected by the Texas winter storm.
And how one DFW school district is taking steps to be more inclusive.
Imagine it's ice cream day at the office. And everyone from the day before voted for their favorite flavor. Everyone but you. You decided not to vote. The flavor they picked isn't the one that you wanted. But can you really complain? Shh! Now imagine that with an elected official.
Choose not to vote, choose not to be heard. Get registered today.
This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go, oh no!
You made yourself a target, James.
Okay, that's perfect. But I had a great time talking to you today. I have one more question. Is wrestling really real?
What?
Last month's winter storms had many effects, but one issue that has not been completely handled is monthly electric bills. The power company Griddy made headlines for overcharging its customers, including some ratepayers having to pay nearly $13,000 for 1 month's electricity use. Griddy Energy filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Monday and is already facing lawsuits worth up to $1 billion. However, the company announced if their bankruptcy is approved and its customers drop their suits, they will cancel the nearly $30 million owed to them for the outstanding charges.
As the state continues to deal with the issues surrounding the spike in energy prices, parts of Dallas are still dealing with lingering storm damage. Fair Park in Dallas was an area severely affected by the storm. ntTV's David Marino has more.
Nearly a month since Texas was hit with one of the biggest snowstorms in recent history. And even as the sun is coming out, the storm left large damages all across North Texas, including here, Fair Park in Dallas, where buildings like the Hall of State are facing millions of dollars in damages.
Fair Park in Dallas is one of the city's largest attractions year-round, but following the snowstorm in February, the area has been left with some serious damages inside more than 20 buildings. On March 4th, the Dallas Park and Recreation Department released a report that said the damages inside of the Hall of State caused by the burst pipes will cost roughly $3.7 million to fix. The building is currently closed to visitors as workers continue to repaint and repair the inside. Other buildings in Fair Park are also facing damages, but the cost of many of those repairs have not yet been determined. According to the City Park and Recreation Department, the next step is to work with the city to figure out funding for the damages.
Now the Hall of State will remain closed to the public as the city continues to fix all of the repairs going on inside. But hopefully soon enough, people can come through and walk the halls once again.
The consequences of the winter storm are still adding up. The Dallas Park and Recreation Department is also including Dallas Zoo and Clyde Warren Park among those with damage. The deadline for small businesses to apply for a loan from the Paycheck Protection Program is March 31st. However, lawmakers are looking to extend the important deadline. Lawmakers approved another $7 billion for the program, which was included in the recent COVID relief bill. However, representatives said the additional funds are of little use if the deadline does not get an extension. Yesterday, the House voted 415-3 to extend the deadline to May 31st, and the extension now moves to the Senate. Denton County city members voted yesterday to approve the city's extended disaster declaration. The extension allows Denton to continue to collect state and federal funding for the pandemic. The declaration was set to expire on March 31st, but now has been extended. City council members also talked about the idea of creating a citywide mask mandate, but attorneys working with the city of Denton warned that any mandate would likely be challenged by the Attorney General's office.
Plano ISD officially concluded its investigation into racist bullying and abuse and plans to develop a diversity and equity plan. Last month, a 13-year-old boy from Haggard Middle School in Plano was at a sleepover and was beaten, called racial slurs, and forced to drink urine by his classmates. The mother of the child decided to post the videos of her son being bullied on Facebook to spread awareness. The district announced yesterday that it will work with a diversity advisory committee to develop a plan that's much more inclusive. The Next Generation Action Network issued several demands to Plano ISD on behalf of the family. One demand was to expel students involved in the abuse in an effort to dismantle the, quote, systemic racism within the school district.
Kami, I think that rain last night really cooled off the area.
Jake, I think so too. And I think we're all ready for some great weather. Bella, what can we expect for this week?
Well, Cami, it looks like we're going to be getting a little bit of rain and sun this week. But first, let's take a look at the current conditions across North Texas. Now, overall, the temperatures are around the high 50s, low 60s. Here in Denton, it is currently 56 degrees. And if you move over into Sulphur Springs, temperatures are up to 63 degrees. Now let's take a look at the current conditions across the state. Most cities are around the 50s and low 60s, but if you go up north into Amarillo, temperatures have dropped to 31 degrees. And if you go down south into Houston, temperatures are up to 74 degrees. So temperatures are just kind of all over the place right now. Now let's look at the forecast for the rest of this week. As you can see, it is going to be sunny Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then Sunday it should be partly cloudy, and then Monday there is a 40% chance of rain, and then Tuesday there is a 50% chance of rain. Now it is going to be pretty windy at the beginning of the week, so temperatures may drop into the low 40s, but they should rise as we go farther into the week, and then by Tuesday temperatures should reach it up into the 70s. That's all for weather. Jake and Cami, back to you.
Thanks, Bella. Denton County is quickly approaching a significant landmark during this pandemic. The county is closing in on 100,000 vaccinations after being allocated just over 25,000 Pfizer vaccine doses. Denton County Public Health Director Matt Richardson addressed the county's vaccination strategy during his weekly coronavirus update. He mentioned the county has almost exclusively received the Pfizer vaccine as there have been no shipments of the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccine. According to Richardson, next week's doses will incorporate more first doses specifically for teachers, saying, "We have a concurrent effort. We're doing teachers plus working our way through the wait list." It's not every day you get to meet a superhero, but for those that get the chance to, it's the best day of their lives. I took a minute to sit down with the Denton Spider-Man to learn a little more about how he decided to come to Denton. Changed over this past year, but one thing has stayed the same: the Denton Spider-Man. Spidey first came to town during last year's COVID lockdown.
Somebody asked me if I would show up to their kid's birthday party to say hi because they couldn't have a party. They lost their jobs, couldn't have a party because of COVID. And so I said, sure, absolutely, I'll show up. And from that, we've almost done 1,000 parties since then.
After celebrating a year, Spider-Man continues to grow in popularity among Dentonites. As he rides through town on top of his Spider-Mobile, people of all ages know they're in for a treat. All it takes is a quick Facebook message to your neighborhood Spider-Man, and he will make an appearance.
How I have ran it from the beginning is, not charging anybody, just relying on the community to give back. Let people donate what they're comfortable with, not setting a price on anything, not charging anybody anything.
But even superheroes need help, and that's where Spider-Man's wife, Spider-Woman, comes into the story.
I try not to throw him off the top, drive slow, help him get presents ready. I'm a teacher aside from this, so as soon as I get home from work, we're usually going to some parties. So.
Lives of many in Denton, and don't plan to stop anytime soon.
It's just so much fun on a daily basis doing this. It's just, I get to wake up and put a Spider-Man outfit on and make people laugh and smile. What? That's so crazy.
If you want to learn more about how to support the Denton Spider-Man, you can check out his Facebook page. The next time you're in town, keep an eye out for the Spider-Mobile.
When we return, we'll check in with our segment anchor, Emily C., and find out more about the new Discover Denton app.
And how the ride-sharing app Lyft is helping low-income communities in the fight against COVID. Stay with us.
When you park in front of the ramp, somebody can't make it up the ramp. When somebody can't make it up the ramp, they miss their class. When they miss their class, they fail their final. When they fail their final, they drop out of school. If you drop out of school, you get a face tattoo from a guy named Scorpion. Don't get a face tattoo from a guy named Scorpion. Be courteous. Don't block wheelchair ramps.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
It's that time of year where everyone plays a dangerous game with the flu. Going in uneducated, you run the risk of symptoms like cough, migraine, and fatigue. Don't be like this guy. Combat the flu with cough drops, ibuprofen, and a good night's sleep. Be smart, don't catch the flu.
Welcome back. One thing I always struggle with here in Denton is knowing when certain events are going to take place.
So much to do in this city in so little time, but our segment anchor, Emily C., has a great trick for those who need some guidance.
That's right, guys. Many times we forget what our own city has to offer, especially when we are distracted by the things of everyday life. However, Denton has an app to make all your discovery dreams come true. It's home to around 140,000 people and is growing every year. For many people living here, Denton offers a dense suburban feel with all the amenities. If you want to learn a little bit more about the city and find some fun things to do, Discover Denton is the app for that. After downloading the app in the App Store, you can head to the homepage where you find many options. One of the options to choose from is the events. Under this tab, you will find the weekly events happening in Denton as well as a small description about the event. Next, you can go to the Tours tab where you find all of the fun and historical tours Denton has to offer. Each tour will guide you step by step. You can even choose events to add to your plan and plan a fun outing for family, friends, and people who like to discover new things. Finally, because of Denton's versatility, you can head to the Things to Do tab to find what celebrations or other historical events are happening around the city. Overall, Denton has a huge list of things to choose from, which is why it's such a growing city. Finding things to do around Denton is so easy when you use the Discover Denton app. You can safely plan a COVID-friendly day or even a week of fun. But if you want to know more about the history of Denton or even have someone help you in person, head to the Discover Denton Visitor Center on the square. This is Emily C. reporting for ntTV. Well, if you're like me and having a hard time figuring out things to do, I hope you find the Discover Denton app helpful. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Emily. In this technological world, one app us Mean Green students have gotten used to is Zoom. Well, now we've got a great way for those who want to escape their Zoom calls. CNN's Jeannie Mose has more.
From a cat in the courtroom.
Can you hear me, Judge? I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
To a cat in your shot.
This is my cat.
Zoom has zoomed right over some of our heads.
Okay, my screen is dark again. Darn it.
And not just on SNL.
We have seen electors.
And who needs real kids? And who needs real technical issues?
I have to mute this, sorry.
When there's this.
No more Zoom meetings. No more Zoom meetings. No more Zoom meetings.
Ever want to fake a Zoom fail to get out of a meeting?
Digital artist Sam Levine is the creator of a free tool called the Zoom Escaper.
So that your presence becomes unbearable to other people.
If you can't screw up on your own,
just everybody mute yourselves. Amen? Amen. Why ain't you doing it?
Let the Zoom Escaper do it for you with everything from a bad connection to barking dogs to construction noise to a weeping man. Okay, using a weeping man as an excuse to jump off a Zoom call is a stretch, but this is the one that really had folks scratching their heads. Sorry, gotta go. I'm already urinating? That one's more likely to get you sent to HR than excused from the Zoom meeting.
No. No, please don't bring it into the bathroom.
Reaction on social media to the Zoom Escaper ranged from "you deserve the Nobel Peace Prize" to also known as the Paycheck Escaper. You'll never get a paycheck again. The Zoom Escaper. Next best thing to "cat's got your tongue."
I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
I can see that.
The ride-sharing app Lyft is now allowing its users to book rides to COVID-19 vaccine appointments. Lyft will work with United Way and the NAACP to identify users who might need a ride to their vaccine appointment. Low-income communities, minorities, and seniors will be prioritized. Several large brands, including Delta, Chase, and Hilton, are also partnering with Lyft to provide incentives to other members for contributing to the cost of rides. The app is looking for support for equal vaccine access to underfunded communities. Jake, I'm looking forward to a day full of Mean Green teams playing their best.
Absolutely. It's never a bad day to support UNT. Let's take it to our sports reporter, Sebastian Nava, for more.
That's right. We're recapping last night's Stars game and previewing today's Mavericks matchup.
Plus, it's going to be a busy day for UNT Athletics. We'll talk more about it after the break.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
The Stars hosted the Tampa Bay Lightning in an intense matchup that had to be resolved in a shootout. Dallas kept the game close in the first 2 periods, ending the first 40 minutes with a score of 2-1. Then on a power play in the third period, Steven Stamkos increased the lead to 2 goals with less than 10 minutes left in the game. With 2 minutes left in the game, both Jamie Benn and Alexander Radulov scored to tie the game at 3 and send it into overtime. After an uneventful overtime, the game went into a shootout to determine the winner. Both teams opened the goal with a period, but Andrei Vasilevsky proved to be the hero for the Lightning by saving 2 shots to help Tampa Bay escape the AAC with a win. The Stars' next puck drop will be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in Detroit versus the Red Wings. The Mavericks will host the Los Angeles Clippers today, looking to avenge their loss to them on Monday. The Mavericks will be looking to clean up their play after letting a 4-point deficit with 3 minutes left in the game grow into a 10-point loss. Mavs star Luka Doncic put up another triple-double, but seemed to unravel in the fourth quarter, giving up 4 turnovers and not scoring a basket in the final 5 minutes of the game. Other notable Mav performances came from Kristaps Porzingis, who put up 22, and Tim Hardaway Jr., who added 21 points off the bench. The Mavericks are still in the 8th seed and sit 4.5 games behind the 4-seeded Clippers, who they will tip off against tonight at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. While a lot of attention has gone to the Mean Green men's basketball team ahead of their March Madness today, still remains a busy day for UNT Athletics. Today is the opening day for the NCAA Swimming and Division Championships in Greensboro, North Carolina. UNT finished 3rd in the Conference USA swim meet, led by senior captain Leigh Ferris-McGee, who earned both a silver and a bronze in individual competitions. While the swim team will look to bring home more medals from North Carolina, the Mean Green volleyball team will also play today. They will play in the Texas Tech Red Raiders in a non-conference match here at the North Texas Volleyball Center. The Mean Green is coming off back-to-back wins versus the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, putting up hit percentages of .432 and .442, their 2 best on the season. Last and certainly not least, Mean Green softball will take on UT Arlington today at 6 p.m. at UNT's very own Lovelake Stadium. North Texas is coming from participating in the Shocker softball tournament, beating Omaha 10-0 and beating Missouri State 4-3. That's all I have from sports. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Sebastian. Today is St. Patrick's Day, a day in which we celebrate Irish and St. Patrick by wearing green. And if you take a look at the White House, you can see how they are celebrating. The water that comes from the fountain on the White House's north lawn has been dyed green to celebrate this holiday. The White House does this every St. Patrick's Day to commemorate the cultural celebration. President Joe Biden will take part in several events on this holiday. First, he attended Mass in Wilmington, Delaware this morning, and later he will host a virtual meeting with Ireland's Prime Minister and take part in a traditional Shamrock Bowl ceremony. As you can see, Cami, I'm wearing this beautiful green tie, so that makes me safe from pesky St. Patrick's Day pinchers.
And Jake, it seems that I have forgotten to wear green. Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.